listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name's Ken Lawler. I am the host of the show, and you might be watching us in the LOZ app. You might be listening to us on KRMS radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. We call it the Simulcast, and we love it because, you know, in the LOZ app, we're all about local. We love celebrating local, and there's nothing more local than the local radio at KRMS, and we love partnership with them. And we get to talk to a lot of fun people, and this gentleman is one of my favorites because, you know what? You see him around town. You've seen his billboards. He's crushing it. Shawn Shelton, what's going on, buddy? How you been?
I've been great, bud. Pleasure to be on the show today. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, listen, man, all I see out there is what's going on with you guys are top 5 in the whole state in real estate transactions. I mean, tell me what's going on. You guys are having some success, aren't you?
It's been awesome. This whole thing just kind of snowballed into something that we did not really truly expect in the last 3 years. And, we're grateful for our agents, grateful for our customers, and we're going to keep this snowball rolling.
So, as happens at the lake, you get a couple of nice weekends, which we have had, a couple of record-breaking temperatures last weekend, 85 or 90 degrees.
Yeah.
That happens, and everybody thinks it's summer already, and they get out, and man, you're seeing a lot of traffic, aren't you?
But somebody flipped a switch. All I can say is spring has sprung, and we are busy. I think Monday I fielded almost 65 phone calls on Monday. Not all of those were potential customers, obviously, but you could just tell that the switch happened and people are getting excited because most of those calls were all about real estate at Lake of the Ozarks. So yeah, glad to be in it.
I talked to Jeff and Jason, and one of the things that really struck me about RE/MAX at the lake, of course, Winter Shelton, RE/MAX, that umbrella that you're under, it's so big at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
But what was kind of a number that stuck out to me was if you're doing a transaction on real estate at Lake of the Ozarks, there's a 50% chance you're dealing with RE/MAX.
That is horrible?
Both an amazing number.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, you guys have to know what you're doing. I mean, that's a big part of the market that you guys control.
50% is huge. This is why I came over to RE/MAX from the previous company that I was at. And if you can't beat them, join them. Right. That was kind of my motto. And listen, the training those guys do, the competition that's within the company, it's it's friendly competition, but you're working alongside some serious agents that take this job very seriously, and in reality it just ups everybody's game and puts us on another level. 50% is just absolutely staggering.
Yeah, and I mean, and I know it's kind of fun. You guys, I love RE/MAX because it's kind of this conglomerate of all these companies. You got you guys, you got Tammy, you got all these different companies in there, and you guys are competitors. Let's face it, everybody wants to win. Nobody wants to win more than you. But it's a really cool competition because in the same respect, you guys are competing against each other, but you're also lifting each other up. And I think that's just an amazing way to go through. If you're going to have a company and you're going to be around other people that are competitors, at least you guys respect each other and you guys are helping each other when you can. And, being in that RE/MAX umbrella is really a cool thing.
It's awesome. I got tired of competing with them. I spent 19 years trying to compete against those guys, and you really just don't hold a candle to them, man. It's just one of those things. If you want to be part of the group, you need to just join them and up your game. And that's exactly what they've done for me. My only regret was I should have done this a lot sooner.
Well, you know what? We hear that regret a lot around real estate at the lake. I wish I would have bought that 10 years ago. I wish I would have bought that 5 years ago. I wish I would have bought it 2 years ago. One of the things that I was talking with Mike and Michelle Lassen over at Team Lassen, and they're lenders at the lake, they're local lenders. They kind of get what's going on.
Yep.
And they were telling me, people are sitting around and they wait for the rate, right? So everybody wants to say I'm in the 6s, or everybody wants to say I'm in the 5s, and so they're waiting for a quarter point or a half point difference before they make a move. But what they're not realizing is the appreciation that's coming from that lake market, where if you bought a property 4 years ago, you might have a 5% appreciation a year on that property, which is dwarfing anything you're going to save on a rate. The appreciation at Lake of the Ozark is amazing. Talk about that a little bit. Why is the lake market going through such an appreciation?
Well, I'm a numbers guy, so I like to compare, this time versus last year where we are. So let's just look at that. That's a great question. I mean, this time last year, 2025, from January 1 to March 25th, if you will. You want to take a stab at what the average list price was at Lake of the Ozarks?
With everything you're saying, condos and homes and everything?
This is everything residential. So condos, houses, villas, just take a stab at what the average list price was last year.
All right, I'm going to go right in the middle at 500,000.
So you were close. 439,884 was the average overall list price at Lake of the Ozarks from January 1 through March 25th. You want to know how much that's gone up this year?
Just in 1 year.
Just in 1 year. Guess what the average list price is right now in the overall market?
I'd say another another 20 grand on top of that, maybe.
So you're close. It's jumped up to $486,006, which was an increase of $39,466.
So that's almost 8 or 9%. I mean,
so it's crazy. If you're on the fence, you need to get off the fence, because the appreciation is just smoking what you're going to save on the rates. Listen, you can always, you want to marry the house, date the rate. And that's always a deal that these lenders say. But I have to agree 100% with the appreciation that's happening here. You're losing out. So if you're sitting here waiting for prices to come down, which that's obviously not happening, right, and the rates to come down, you're getting behind the game. So it's time to step up.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I think that people, and you always hear it, man. I wish I woulda. And
yeah,
and that's just in 1 year. I mean, think if you bought 5 years ago, and you wanted to do this, and 5 years ago you could find a house on the lake, maybe in the 400s for whatever. Now you go with lakes. If you're looking at lakefront properties, it's pretty hard to find anything $500,000 or less, isn't it? I mean,
you used to be able to get a mansion for $500,000, man. I remember, 20 years ago. I mean, 500,000 got you a 3,500, 4,000 square foot house. That's just not true anymore. I mean, 500,000 gets you maybe 1,500 square feet to 1,600 square feet now. Probably no garage. You got to jump up into probably the mid 6s to 7 to find something that, especially if you're going to be a full-time person that, is going to have everything that you're going to want to live in a house for full time. And I mean, what's it going to be in another 3 or 4 years? Are you going to have $1 million to buy something entry level on the lake? I mean, that's the way it's going right now.
Well, and look what's coming in. I mean, you've got speaking of full-time residents, I mean, you got the theme park's going to be finished. You've got the new, mall that's going to be redone with all the different things that are coming in there. The casinos. Now they're going to be employing full-time jobs. This is not going to be just transitional, seasonal stuff. So now you're competing with people who live here year-round. If it's my only home and I live here year-round, I'm probably going to put more money into it than I am in a second home. So that's going to drive it up even more. There's a good reason to call my buddy Shawn Shelton at Winter Shelton right now. If you're thinking about buying at the lake, you need to get out there, start looking, and grab something, because there's not a lot that's going to be left.
There's not. Listen, I mean, residential wise right now, Lake of the Ozarks, total residential houses, condos, villas, you're looking at 716 properties. So some might say, well, 3 years ago, that's considerably up from 3 years ago. Well, it may be, but we're still way, way down. Mm-hmm. I'm used to seeing 2,000, 2,200 residential properties, 1,200 to 1,500 condos. Well, right now you're 716 total active residential listings. You want to take a stab how many lakefront there is?
Out of 716, let's go with a couple hundred.
So you're close again. 270 as of today. So 270. That's everything from 0 to I think one of the most expensive properties out there right now is 17 or 18 million dollars. I don't know. I'd have
$17 million. That's amazing. I mean, I love it. Hey, look, I'm a capitalist. I want people to win, and there's a lot of places you can buy real estate, but I don't know there's a lot of places you can buy real estate. Enjoy that real estate. I mean, get more fun out of, and I tell people all the time, you could buy a stock. You could go in the stock market with your money, but you can't ride on your stock in the lake. You can't entertain your friends on your stock.
That's right.
There's so many things that you get to do with the money you're investing at the lake that are memory makers and lifetime memory. I mean, that to me is like the coup de grace of why invest at the lake. Your money's appreciating. You're enjoying it the whole time you're there. It's just, it's kind of a win-win.
That's the thing. You get to enjoy it, and the season's getting longer and longer every year. I mean, as well as I do, it used to be from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Well, that's just not the case anymore. I mean, we're popping off 70, 80 degree days in December. Man, I don't.
Well, and we just did the boat show, and one of the things I was talking to the guys at the boat show about was with all these out drives now on these boats.
That's right.
They don't need to winterize them. So
that's right.
It used to be you had to winterize the engine, so you didn't want to undo it too early because you didn't know if we were going to get a late freeze. Now with all these out drives, it's just go. Whenever the weather's nice, you can get on the lake, and that really opened up, I think, a lot of opportunity for businesses at the lake. And if people anticipate and they see it's coming and there's going to be a great weekend, you'll see a weekend in the middle of a winter now where it's packed.
The lake gets busy. The restaurants are staying open longer and longer right now. It's a great thing, man. I love seeing all the development coming down to the lake.
Well, buddy, I love having you on the show. We love getting your take on everything. I'm so thrilled with the success you're having. And again, everybody, it's real easy to find Shawn and Winter Shelton. You just go in the LOZ app, you go into the real estate section. They're everywhere in there. You can call them, you can email them, get them going. And let's just leave it here. Don't wait. If you want to buy, call Shawn. He'll get you a place. You'll start making money right away and having fun.
That's right. That's what we're here for, baby. We want to help your lake dreams come true.
All right. What a great way to end. Hey, Shawn Shelton, thanks for coming on the LOZ Podcast Network. Yeah. And everybody, we will be right back after these messages.